A car can make your life easier, but choosing the wrong one can quietly become one of the biggest financial mistakes you ever make. The real cost of a vehicle goes far beyond the number printed on a dealership window or the monthly payment shown by a salesperson.
And here it is, ninety. Can you believe it? Dealerships often focus your attention on monthly payments,
But a low monthly payment doesn't automatically mean you're getting a cheap car, because longer loans can dramatically increase your total financial commitment.
Social media makes this even harder because expensive cars are constantly presented as symbols of success, status, freedom, and financial achievement. The question isn't whether you can technically qualify for a car loan. The real question is whether the vehicle fits your financial life. Your income is only one part of the calculation because housing, debt, savings, insurance, investments, and everyday expenses all compete for your money. A vehicle that looks affordable by itself can become expensive when you place its payment inside your complete household budget.
By the end, you'll have a much clearer framework for choosing a vehicle without allowing excitement or dealership pressure to control your decision. One simple starting point is the 25% rule, which suggests keeping your vehicle purchase price around 1/4 of annual gross income.
Someone earning $40,000 annually would reach a rough vehicle budget of $10,000 using this conservative 25% guideline. For someone earning $80,000, the same calculation produces approximately $20,000 as a conservative starting point for the vehicle purchase.
At $150,000 of annual income, 25% produces a vehicle budget near $37,500.
Remember, this isn't a law or universal formula. It's simply a useful boundary designed to prevent your vehicle from dominating your finances.
If your vehicle is mainly transportation, spending aggressively may provide very little financial benefit compared with simply choosing reliable transportation. The money saved by choosing a cheaper vehicle can potentially become investments, emergency savings, home funds, or additional financial flexibility. Every dollar directed toward an unnecessary car payment is a dollar that cannot simultaneously compound inside your investment portfolio.
A spending limit can protect you from turning a temporary desire for a nicer vehicle into years of unnecessary financial pressure. The goal isn't owning the cheapest car possible. It's finding a vehicle that fits comfortably inside the bigger financial picture.
The biggest mistake many buyers make is shopping according to monthly payment, instead of understanding the vehicle's complete purchase and financing cost.
A 4-year loan with a higher payment can actually cost significantly less overall than a 7-year loan with a smaller monthly number.
Stretching the loan gives you temporary monthly relief, but it can keep interest charges attached to the vehicle for several additional years.
A longer loan can make an unaffordable vehicle appear affordable without actually making the underlying purchase financially sensible.
Before signing anything, look at the vehicle price, interest rate, loan length, total interest, and final amount you will actually repay. Your personal budget should determine the car you buy, not the maximum payment a dealership's financing department says you can handle.
Walking into a dealership without knowing your budget can make emotional decisions much more likely, especially when you're surrounded by expensive vehicles.
The sticker price is only the beginning, because ownership also brings insurance, maintenance, registration, fuel, repairs, taxes, and depreciation. A financially responsible buyer looks at total ownership cost, instead of assuming the purchase price tells the entire story.
Think about the decision as a multi-year commitment, because today's attractive payment could still affect your financial choices several years from now.
Another useful framework is the 24-10 rule, which focuses on your down payment, financing duration, and monthly transportation expenses.
The 20 represents putting roughly 20% down, so a $30,000 vehicle would require about $6,000 upfront.
A larger down payment reduces the amount you need to borrow, which can lower interest costs and give you more financial breathing room.
This matters because vehicles can lose value quickly, especially early in ownership, while your loan balance may decline at a slower pace.
When your loan balance exceeds the vehicle's market value, you're underwater, meaning selling the car could require additional cash from you. Silered over the Free-New.
Being underwater can become especially painful when unexpected circumstances force you to sell or replace the vehicle before the loan ends.
The 4 suggests keeping your financing term around 4 years. Whenever your budget can comfortably support the resulting monthly payment.
Longer financing may lower the monthly payment, but it usually keeps you paying interest for more years and increases your overall borrowing cost. If you need an extremely long loan just to make the payment manageable, that's often a warning that the vehicle itself costs too much. If you need an extremely long loan just to make the payment manageable, that's often a warning that the vehicle itself costs too much.
The framework isn't perfect for every household, but it provides a useful starting point for avoiding excessive vehicle debt. The final number suggests keeping your monthly vehicle expenses around 10% or less of gross monthly income.
Someone earning $40,000 annually has roughly $3,333 in gross monthly income, making 10% about $333.
At $80,000 annually, gross monthly income is roughly $6,667, making 10% approximately $67. At $150,000 annually, gross monthly income reaches approximately $12,500, making 10% about $250. But remember, these numbers represent boundaries rather than targets, because spending less creates additional room for savings, investing, and unexpected expenses. Your transportation budget should consider more than the loan, because insurance, maintenance, repairs, registration, and fuel can substantially increase ownership costs.
Fuel isn't included in the basic 10% calculation, but you should absolutely include gasoline or charging costs when building your personal budget.
The reason for keeping transportation costs controlled is simple. Your income must still cover every other important financial responsibility. A car should fit into your financial plan, rather than forcing every other important goal to compete for whatever money remains. Financial freedom becomes easier when your transportation costs remain manageable enough to let you continue building wealth consistently. One powerful way to reduce vehicle costs is considering a quality used car that has already absorbed some initial depreciation. Brand new vehicles can lose significant value early in ownership, meaning the first owner may absorb a large portion of depreciation.
That early depreciation is one reason a carefully selected 3 to 5-year-old vehicle can sometimes offer much better value.
You may find similar safety features, technology, comfort, and reliability without paying the full premium associated with purchasing brand new. However, buying used doesn't mean buying blindly. Maintenance history, condition, reliability, mileage, and an independent inspection matter tremendously.
A good used vehicle should have a verifiable history, reasonable maintenance records, and a reputation for dependable long-term ownership.
The cheapest vehicle isn't magically the best deal, because future repairs can quickly erase the money you saved at purchase.
The goal is finding the sweet spot where depreciation has slowed without sacrificing reliability, safety, practicality, or reasonable ownership costs. Choosing used can require more research, but that extra effort can potentially preserve thousands of dollars for more important financial goals.
The real advantage isn't simply paying less for a car. It's keeping more of your income available for wealth building or wealth building opportunities.
Leasing can make sense for people who strongly prefer driving a newer vehicle and replacing it every few years.
Leasing may offer attractive monthly payments, warranty coverage, and access to newer vehicles without committing to long-term ownership.
The downside is that leases commonly come with mileage restrictions. Exceeding those limits can create additional charges. This happens when the agreement ends. Oh no, I am going over!
When the lease expires, you generally return the vehicle, purchase it according to the agreement, or enter another vehicle contract.
Buying becomes especially attractive when you plan to keep the same vehicle for many years, after the financing has been completely paid.
Once the loan disappears, continuing to drive the vehicle can create several years without a required monthly car payment.
Instead of immediately upgrading, you could redirect that old payment toward investments, savings, debt reduction, or other long-term financial goals. Over a long period, repeatedly leasing vehicles can create continuous transportation expenses because you never reach the ownership stage.
Neither option is automatically perfect, but your driving habits, priorities, mileage, cash flow, and ownership timeline should determine the decision.
If you're buying a car, there's another question. Should you pay cash up front, or should you finance part of the purchase?
Paying cash can provide peace of mind because you eliminate the monthly payment and avoid paying interest on the borrowed amount. But paying cash isn't smart if doing so drains your emergency savings and leaves you financially vulnerable to unexpected expenses.
You should never confuse owning a vehicle outright with being financially secure, if the purchase leaves your cash reserves dangerously low.
Financing can sometimes make sense when the interest rate is reasonable, and keeping some capital available provides meaningful financial flexibility.
The key concept here is opportunity cost. Money used for one purpose cannot simultaneously be used for another financial opportunity. However, borrowing at a high interest rate simply because you expect investments to outperform that debt can be a dangerous assumption.
The smarter decision depends on your loan rate, available savings, investment strategy, risk tolerance, and overall financial position.
The objective isn't always avoiding debt completely. It's making sure the debt doesn't prevent you from accomplishing your more important financial goals.
One simple way to reduce vehicle expenses is shopping around for insurance instead of automatically accepting the same renewal price every year. One simple way to reduce vehicle expenses is shopping around for insurance instead of automatically accepting the same renewal price every year. Different insurers can offer very different prices for similar coverage, so comparing quotes may reveal meaningful savings. Call multiple providers. Compare equivalent coverage, discounts, before deciding which policy provides the best overall value. Second, consider a quality used vehicle, especially if buying new would force you to stretch your budget. Third, research maintenance costs before buying, because two vehicles with similar prices can have dramatically different ownership expenses. Luxury vehicles can sometimes hire repair, maintenance, insurance, and replacement part costs, even when their purchase prices look competitive.
Don't evaluate a vehicle only by its sticker price. Estimate what it could realistically cost you across several years.
Researching reliability and long-term ownership expenses before visiting a dealership can help you make decisions with less emotional pressure. Small decisions around insurance, depreciation, maintenance, and financing can combine to produce thousands of dollars in potential long-term savings.
The money you save on transportation doesn't disappear. You can redirect it toward goals that actually increase your financial security.
Here's the uncomfortable truth. Many people choose vehicles based on what they want others to think about them. Social media can make expensive vehicles look normal, but you rarely see the debt, stress, sacrifices, or financial trade-offs behind those purchases.
I'm paying $500. How is yours identical? Mine is shorter. Two people can have identical monthly payments. Two people can have identical, completely different loan terms.
The person driving the more expensive car isn't necessarily wealthier, because appearances reveal almost nothing about someone's actual financial position. Sometimes the smartest financial decision is driving an ordinary car while quietly directing your extra income toward long-term investments. You don't need to maximize your car budget just because your income allows it. Financial freedom often comes from deliberately spending less. Every payment you avoid or reduce gives you another opportunity to strengthen savings, investments, emergency reserves, or other important financial priorities. The best car isn't necessarily the fastest, newest, or most impressive. It's the one that provides transportation without damaging your financial future. Before buying your next vehicle, ask yourself whether the purchase supports your financial goals or forces those goals to become less important. Choose a car you can comfortably afford, keep your transportation costs under control, invest the difference, and let your money build freedom instead of debt.